Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Jessie. This is Playful Moon Tarot. So grateful to have you here with us today. In today's Pick a Card, we are going to be getting a message from your shadow self. And for the timestamps, groups 1, 2, and 3, those are all in the description box down below. If you would like to book a personal reading, the link to my website is also down in the description box. And if you're interested in daily tarot, you can follow me over on Instagram at playful_moon_tarot. Let's get into your guys' readings. Hello, Group 1, and welcome to your reading. You guys were drawn to the Androgyne card, and this card talks about being an artist, being creative, and also being able to embody the masculine and the feminine sides and bring them together as one. And your additional oracle card is the Air, and this is talking about taking a moment to take a deep breath in, fill those lungs, go into a quiet space, and really allow those creative energies to take over. Okay, and I'm going to start to pull some tarot to deepen the message. And let's see, messages in alignment with Group 1's highest good, please. Okay. And so whatever you are trying to create right now, whether it's creating a better life for yourself, creating art, and not even art in like a painting way, you could also be wanting to write a book. I'm also hearing any type of creative energy is where this is going. Hold on, let me go grab those cards. Because what they're saying is that your creative spark was given to you for a reason. Your guides want you to share whatever it is that you are wanting to create. So for some of you, it might be a book. For some of you, it might be a YouTube channel. For some of you, it might be like a storefront, anything. This can be in regards to anything. And so the cards that we have here are the Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, the Death card, the Hierophant, Three of Wands, Two of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Magician. And how these all relate is right now, you are learning how to alchemize. You guys are learning how to alchemize and work with that creative spirit that lies within you. And you guys are filled with all of these ideas. And when you are able to drop into those quiet spaces, I feel like you guys really get flooded with a lot of information, a lot of potential. You guys are seeing things, and so for the people that are seeing things, those images are very powerful. So creating art around that, whether it's written form, verbal, speaking, sound, any of those things that resonate with you is really what the collective needs to be introduced to, is what my guide is saying. And you guys have definitely had a rebirth process. You guys are either going through like a rebirth process, you guys are shedding some things that may not be serving your highest good right now. And I feel as if you guys are looking towards stability in really allowing yourself to create a space where you can really create. So the Hierophant and the High Priestess, you guys are really, really, really in tune. You guys are really getting in touch with your intuition. The one thing that really needs to break free is this fear of being seen, this fear of putting yourself out there. And that's why the Air card is, because all of these butterflies are telling you it's time to go through that transformation. It's time to embrace the changes that are happening. And we go into the dark, right? Like a caterpillar crawls into the cocoon, goes into the dark, and comes out totally different, totally transformed. And within this cocoon, you guys are really able to touch and get in touch with that side of yourself, that soul, that intuition, those images that are coming into your mind, that is all being driven by your shadow self that wants to be seen. And you guys are like figuring out a way to bring these two pieces together. And for some of you, you guys know which direction you want to go, and it's just a matter of waiting for things to come into alignment. And for some of you, you guys are still a little bit not quite sure which direction you want to go because you guys are so full of ideas that I feel like for some of you, you're getting a little overwhelmed. But you are going to figure out how to work with your alchemy here very soon with your creative process. Trust the process, trust where you're being led. And they're saying create from a place that brings you joy. And this is the very beginning of this journey for you. Create from a place where you feel full, because if you are feeling full in your heart space and you're creating and bringing these things forward, not only is it going to bring you a lot of abundance in an emotional way, but also the Queen of Pentacles here, she also understands that things take time. And when we're patient and when we accept the journey as it is, accept the processes of life, accept kind of the flow of the tide, that's where also the real magic is. And I'm really being drawn to this bear right now. And there's a real sense of wanting to protect your creative energy, wanting to protect this part of you, which is, I think, why, this is hiding in your shadow, even though you're very aware of all of these creative things. It hides in the shadow because you guys are scared to be seen. But what my guide is telling me is that allow this process to unfold and allow yourself to start slowly putting things out there in the world to be seen. And you can still protect your energy, but also let it flow, is what they're saying. That holding on to things too tight doesn't allow it to expand and grow and get to where it needs to be. So you can have that feeling of like wanting to protect yourself and working with that side of yourself of what do I need protection from, getting into those nitty-gritty parts and asking yourself, where do we feel like we can expand right now, and where do we feel like maybe that's still a process for us to be able to unleash that side of us, right? To really put ourselves out there, to really be seen. It's a slow process, and just be open and loving and kind with yourself. But my guides are really encouraging you to go after your dreams, go after this creative spark that lies within you. It's there for a reason, and it's meant to be shared. And the little crystal ally that came out is the little mushroom malachite. And so if that little stone calls to you, maybe picking up a little piece of that might help to unlock the magic that lives within you. And when you're ready, please share it with the world, because my guide is telling me that it is meant to be shared, and it harbors many beautiful things. Like they're just showing me somebody giving this gift that keeps giving, that keeps giving, that kind of grows over this whole map of the world. Okay. So if anything in that message resonated, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, love yourself, trust yourself, and believe in yourself. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Hello, Group 2, and welcome to your reading. You guys are drawn to the Peacock's Tail card, and this card talks about expanding our mind just beyond what we perceive to be reality. There is a part of your shadow that wants you to open up your mind and expand a little bit more. There might be some black and white thinking going on, or there might be kind of like a wall up against bringing in any new ideas. And the idleness card came out as your second oracle card to go with this message. And the energy that I'm getting from this is that keeping your mind where it is right now is also keeping you a little bit still, a little bit stagnant, and a little bit too into yourself, right? The turtle goes and hides in its shell and doesn't really interact with the outside world. And there's definitely a time for hibernation, but there's also a time to go out, explore, be open to new ideas. And so I'm pulling some tarot right now to clarify the message, but allowing ourselves to understand another person's point of view, even if we don't agree, is really the next step. I feel for you in your soul's journey, and what your shadow self wants to start to incorporate is more of a wholehearted approach, even if we disagree. Hold on, let me get that card. And being open to others' ideas can create sparks of inspiration. It can lead to new ideas, new ways of living when we interact, when we're open to discussing things, even those hard situations. It allows for there to be clarity. It allows for there to be an understanding. And there's a sense that your shadow really wants to start to expand itself to new ideas, which I feel is the beginning of a real turning point in your guys' life. I feel as if allowing more ideas, more perspectives, more people in, you guys are going to expand and grow. They're just saying, grow your garden, grow your garden, grow your garden. And there's a reason why. So the Wheel of Fortune is basically saying it is time. There is a shift that needs to happen within internally, because there's like a plan for you. They're saying like there's a plan for you. There's a plan for you to bring your ideas into creation, but it also needs to include other people's ideas. And it's like a collaboration with the universe and others, and being open to other people's ideas is really going to allow this to materialize, to blossom. And there's a moment right here where we, like the Hanged One, this card is all about looking at things from a different perspective, really taking the time to pause and really asking yourself what you believe, what you've been conditioned to believe, what your perspective is, how you're perceiving things right now. Maybe something happened and it was a misunderstanding and you're perceiving it a certain way, and talking about it and talking out the differences will be able to clear up the air around that situation, clear up any harbored bad feelings, ill intentions. And really they're showing me like releasing balloons, like releasing feathers. There's like this release where it's like a wish and it's like being blown out into the world, and from there it's all about inspiring the vision and the thoughts of others. And it's when you put yourself out there and share these new ideas, these new ways of thinking, it will inspire other people. This could be people in your family. This could be people in your friend circle. This could be people in school. Sometimes jobs, but most of the time at work, people are just there to do their thing and go home. In a more non-structured setting where energy flows a little bit easier, is the place to share these ideas. And going in to and having meditations, really getting connected with your intuition, quieting the mind, really asking yourself what your soul believes to be true, and allowing And I know it can be challenging sometimes, but allowing when you know that you need to do something, like for example, if you know that you need to forgive somebody because you guys just had a heated discussion or a heated argument, a misunderstanding, a misspeaking even, when you take the time to clear that energy up and listen to the other person and apologize, when you feel those soul, like little soul nudges, you know, where you're like, I know that the right thing is to fill in the blank, but I'm still feeling too much of a certain way to allow that to happen. We kind of stand in our way, right? And then we go inside into our own little homes and we kind of close off what our intuition, what our soul, what our guides, you know, like taking that bigger action, that the bigger step and making that decision, even if you can't see the outcome, but knowing that if you make that decision, make it with your heart space and then invite that person in to that conversation, right? That's like what is going to be able to shift this for you. And so there is a part of your shadow that really wants to have this shift happen, and be easy and gentle with yourself, but ask yourself why you might be holding yourself back. The Empress and the Queen of Swords, this lets me know that what you are going to create by doing this is going to be incredibly beautiful, and being masterful of the thoughts in your mind and realizing that thoughts are sometimes just thoughts, but being able to be decisive about what thoughts you're going to allow to continue to be in your mental space and what thoughts you're going to say, you know, that's old programming, that's old history, that's, you know, whatever that old paradigm is. Allow it to shift, allow it to shift, allow it to fall away, and really be open to this shadow side of you that really wants to take that, like your soul to the next level. Like they're showing me a video game and this soul kind of like leveling up in the video game and really getting to that next space of understanding. Even if you don't agree with the person, even if you still agree to disagree, being open to hearing other people's ideas about certain situations is really what the message is for you guys, group 2. And the little crystal ally that came out is the little tiger's eye mushroom. So if the tiger's eye crystal is calling to you, then this might be a good crystal ally for you to have during this time. And if anything in this message resonated, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, love yourself, trust yourself, and believe in yourself. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Hello, group 3, and welcome to your reading. You guys were drawn to the Great Work card, and there's something deep inside in your shadow self that you secretly want to work on, that you secretly want to bring to fruition, and you are kind of scared to embrace this path. And what is going to keep happening is that if you keep kind of denying that part of yourself that's really calling to you, simply no matter what you do, it's going to keep echoing and reverberating until you answer that call. And there's a sense of allowing yourself to be illuminated by this process, be guided by the moon. And the moon is all about our intuition. And really what they're saying is being in those quiet spaces when you know that you're truly being guided by the divine, by your soul, by your, you know, higher self, God, whoever you believe in, your guides. Those are the spaces where magical things really can be created. And there is a reason why you are being given these gifts, why you are being shown these images, why you have these desires to bring these forward, and don't hide them in the shadow anymore. And your tarot cards are the Ace of Swords, the Nine of Wands, the Eight of Cups, the Seven of Cups, the Emperor, and Justice. And with this, right away, the Ace of Swords tells me you guys have a new idea. There is something that dwells within your shadow. Some of you are very aware of what this is, and some of you maybe have a little bit of an idea but haven't fully dived in yet. And this is your opportunity to really go into those quiet spaces and be led by your intuition. What is driving you? What is calling you? Because the great work, it's meant to blossom. It's meant to be, they're saying, build the garden. The garden is meant to be for you and others. You guys have gifts that you need to share with the world. And the Nine of Wands tells me that this has been a little bit of a weary battle for you. It's getting to a point where, for some of you who really understand what this calling is, it's almost become more of an effort to keep it quiet than to embrace it. And I feel like you guys should embrace it. This is a chance and a moment to really understand that you have been given something that needs to be shared. And there's a sense of really needing to believe that, really understanding that there is a greater purpose for what lies within your shadow self. And you guys have many opportunities. I feel you guys have tried and they're not coming to fruition the way that you had hoped. And so again, there's a sense of really going within to understand what it is that really calls to you. Take away all the old programming, take away everything that you think you know, and allow yourself to step into that space. Because with the Justice card, there's a sense of really balancing. You're balancing out. This is like a divine intervention, a divine message saying that it's time to balance out these choices by going with what you really want to do. Really following your heart space and building your kingdom the way that you want it to be built. Being a leader and the kind of leader that you want to be that you maybe don't see a lot of. Like maybe there's a certain kind of leader that comes to mind that you really want to see in this world, but there isn't really anybody that represents the same values, the same ideas, the same basically morals. And there's a sense of really wanting to go back to this idea. Okay, go back to this idea. And they're saying, choose this. Instead of choosing the cups, they want you to choose the sword. And there's like a balance, and that's where the balancing is. They're saying there's enough cups. I don't know what that means, but there is enough cups. There's enough of what that old paradigm is. Whatever that is, it'll be different for each and every one of you. But that's why you're being called to choose a totally new, different way, because it's a balancing. Not only a balancing, I feel like for yourself internally and the people around you, but as a collective, as a whole. There's a balancing that needs to happen. And you choosing this new idea, choosing what's really calling to you, like in the quiet of the night, if you were told, no matter what you did, you wouldn't fail, going after the things that seem really, really, really impossible. And I actually just want to pull one more tarot card to just, because this comes from a place of real heartache. There's some real heartache around this, which I feel has also, there's either a sense of true failure that you're going to fail, or that a recent loss, a recent like troubled waters, troubled times has been holding you back a little bit. But from great loss and great tragedy also comes really great things. And maybe you guys were really, really, really heart set on it being a cup. Maybe you guys really, really, really were heart set on this idea, whatever the cup is, because it's different than the sword. And there's a sense of really feeling this loss around it not being a cup. But the swords have something new that really need to be brought to the surface. It will help you and the people around you and on a collective level. And the Page of Pentacles is going to understand the process is really slow, but it's definitely worth taking. And once you get this sorted out inside of your heart space, and once you're able to move forward, be patient with yourself on this journey, but keep going after what it is that really ignites your heart space and brings you joy, makes you feel good about getting out of bed every morning, makes you feel embodied in the love that you want to see reflected to others, reflected back to you. That message might be very specific for somebody. And they're just saying, just let it blossom. That's the final message, is just letting it blossom. Letting it blossom. And lovingly, I say this very lovingly, please, I'm sorry, it kind of sounds a little harsh, but my guides are like, please use this phrase. They're saying, please get out of your own way. I'm really sorry. That kind of sounds really harsh, and I really don't mean it to. They're showing somebody like standing on these flowers, and if you stand on it, it can't grow. So that's why they're saying just shift a little bit, allow that shift, allow that change, because it will give it space to be able to then blossom. I hope that comes across in a really loving way. Sorry, for me, it kind of felt a little stern, but Saturn is in Pisces right now, and Saturn is giving us, some of us down here, a real stern talking to. So maybe that's where it's coming from, but I don't know. I mean it in the most loving way. So hopefully you received it that way. And the little crystal ally that popped out is the opalite. And so if that crystal resonates or calls to you, maybe picking up a little piece of that to help you along on this part of your adventure. And as always, love yourself, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.